this comment is gonna make me cry. Andrea said, thank you for teaching me how to do makeup when I didn't have sisters to. This means so much to me. Thank you for sticking around forever. I know a lot of times we post like comedic videos, especially here on Painted, but I really do forget how many of you guys came to my channel to actually learn how to do makeup. So today, let me do a little tutorial. I'm gonna show you guys how I got this cute little eye look using our basic canvas palette. This is gonna be super easy, I promise. Starting off, I'm grabbing a big fluffy brush. This is our J14. I'm gonna dip it right into UV Index, which is a beautiful warm transition shade. I'll tap off any excess because we don't want it to be too pigmented. And we're gonna go right into my crease. Now, if you don't know what your crease is, it is this. See how when I open and close my eyelid, it creates that fold right there? That's your crease. So you're gonna hold the brush perpendicular to your face. And you're just gonna go in small little circular motions back and forth, but you don't wanna like scrub it on. You're just gonna softly blend, and that's gonna add that color right in just like that. Next, with a smaller brush, this is our J11. This is a crease brush. I'm gonna dip into Oak. Now, this is a cool tone medium brown. So I'm gonna use this shade, once again, holding it perpendicular, and I'm gonna put it in what's called our outer corner. That is basically like a V shape right here. I'm gonna bring it out this way, just slightly blending, and then with whatever's left on that brush, I'm gonna tuck that right into my crease. If something isn't as smooth as you want it to be, you can always go back in with your previous color. So in this case, UV Index, our transition shade, and go over with a bigger fluffy brush. This is our J13 to help blend and diffuse those edges just like that. Next, I'm grabbing our J12, which is this flat packer brush, and I'm gonna dip into Sugar and then a little bit of Warrior to make a pastel pale pink shade. And I'm gonna go in and I'm just gonna start packing this right onto my lid. Now, I personally am not the biggest fan of like a super sharp cut crease with concealer anymore, but I do love doing this because it adds just a lot of dimension to the lid and still gives that cut crease sort of effect. Look at how pigmented that is. This harsh edge right here between the brown and the tan, not a vibe. So we're just gonna go right in on the fluffy brush, a little bit more of UV Index, and just kind of tickle over that line to help blend it out. I'm gonna go in with this beautiful shade, Champs. It is probably my favorite from the entire palette. It is this beautiful Barbie shimmery pink. And I'm just gonna go right in and tap that on the lid, just like that. Then I'm gonna dip into Cloud 9 using our J8 little pencil brush, tapping off any excess, and I'm gonna use this just to highlight that inner corner. Oh, look at how beautiful and bright that is. Next, I'm grabbing our J3, which is this flat square liner brush, and I'm gonna dip into Theodore, which is our black shade. And I'm gonna use this to start sketching on an eyeliner, starting off with that bottom line, pulling it upwards, and then just connecting it back to the lash line. If the line isn't super sharp, you can always use a tiny little bit of your foundation on a J2 or flat concealer brush, and just use this to literally carve it right out. Just make sure to blend out that concealer with a clean brush so it doesn't look like a crazy stripe. I'm gonna apply a little bit of Finnegan, the shimmery shade, right underneath the arch of my eyebrow, just to brighten that up. Now it's time for lashes and mascara. I'm just gonna give them a good curl. Then a thin coat of mascara. Oh God, I cannot wait for you guys to have our Painted mascara in your hands. Add on a lash if you want to. And then last but not least, this is totally optional, but do you see the difference in brightness between this under eye and this one? It's my little secret from the Basic Canvas palette. I grabbed this shade Sugar. Now this is obviously not gonna work for every skin tone, but if you are pale like me, I love grabbing a little bit of this shade on a fluffy brush and just tapping this right into the under eye. And it's gonna instantly make it look so bright, so awake, and like that gorgeous painted on glam. Oh, look at that! And that is this little mini eye tutorial using our Basic Canvas palette, all complete. If you guys do not have this in your makeup collections, it is literally the best neutral palette on the market. 24 shades, $55. Let me know if you guys enjoyed. I don't do educational content nearly as much as I used to, but maybe I should get back into it.